Good luck to you. And Marv, back up to you and Bill.
All right, John, again, the final score, Buffalo Bills 24, Pittsburgh Steelers 3. So the Bills are headed back to the AFC Championship game. Now, stay tuned for Bob Costas, the Old Spice NFL postgame report coming up right after these messages.
Sure, you work in an office.
What do you mean 8?
But you live on the phone, which is why you should know about Centranet service from GTE. With Centranet, you get the features and flexibility of the most sophisticated business telephone system. Not the high cost of one.
It's really, really difficult for me right now.
Because while you spend most of your time on the phone,
You hung up on him, he's gone now.
there's no need to spend most of your money.
All right, so the Steelers with 4 turnovers today, all of them came in Buffalo territory. And how about
with some flurries today and tonight? Today's high 34, tonight's low 28.
Only one minivan's ever been named an Automobile Magazine All-Star 5 years in a row. It's Dodge Caravan. And Caravan's a '93 Motor Trend Best Buy. So, we're throwing an award celebration sale. Now you can save over $2,100 on this Grand Caravan because we've priced it the same as a regular Caravan. That's 25 extra cubic feet of space at no extra charge. So come celebrate with us. Drive a Caravan at your nearest Dodge dealer today.
My mama told me you better shop around. Shop around. You better shop around. My mama told me you better shop around. Shop around. You better shop around.
I always go to the shopping center 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Belle Atlantic Company.
Having a little trouble handling the snow? Then see your All-Star Jeep and Eagle dealer. They'll give you a great deal on a 4-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, or all-wheel drive Eagle Talon. Plus, stop in and see the exciting new Eagle Vision. Test drive any Jeep or Eagle vehicle and get a free Learn to Ski fun package at Seven Springs Mountain Resort. Get free ski lessons, free rentals, free ski tickets, and much, much more. Having fun this winter is no trouble at your All-Star Jeep and Eagle dealers, where you can ski free and save big.
From Channel 11 News, this is the Fifth Quarter, brought to you in part by Foodland. Yes, your everyday savings. And by Stroh's. It's not just another beer, it's Stroh's. Now, here is your Fifth Quarter host, Derek Gunn.
Hi, once again, everybody. I'm Derek Gunn. Welcome to the playoff edition of the Fifth Quarter. Well, the Steelers needed to win over the Buffalo Bills today to advance to the conference finals. And yes, they had the home field advantage, but the playoff season Bills had all the right ingredients, and it led to the Steelers' postseason coming to an abrupt close. We go to the action now at Three Rivers, and Bill Cowher had his squad at full strength going into this one. Marv Levy's Bills squad at a deficit, though, with Jim Kelly sidelined with an injury. Now the defense, the big factor in the opening half. Bills' first drive of the game, they had a 4th and 1 at the Steelers' 45. Carwell Gardner on the carry, stopped short of his destination by Nickerson, Little, and a host of black jerseys. So the Steelers took over on downs. They moved down the field and set up this Gary Anderson 38-yard try. It's good. Steelers up by 3. Steelers had excellent field position throughout the first half, yet did not capitalize on it. Still in the first, O'Donnell's pass tipped by Phil Hansen, picked by Nate Odoms. Bills took over at their own 34. Then moving to the second quarter, O'Donnell is stuck and stripped of the ball by Bruce Smith. Hansen jumped on it. Bills ball at their own 41. That led to a 9-play Buffalo drive covering 59 yards. The last play, Frank Reich, the lineman Mitch Farrat for the 1-yard score, 7-3 Bills at the break. In the third, on the Bills' initial drive of the latter half, they went 80 yards in 13 plays, consuming 6:44 off the clock. The final play there on a 3rd and 13, Reich to James Lofton, who got by Sammy Walker. More and Walker later, 17-yard score, 14-3 Buffalo. And when the Steelers got the ball back, they worked their way into field goal position. But Mark Royals can't handle the low snap by Kendall Gammon. That potential scoring effort blew up in their faces. Bills took over on downs. Buffalo would move close enough for Steve Christie to come on and nail the 43-yard try, and it was Buffalo by 2 touchdowns at that point. Then late in the fourth, less than 2 minutes to play, Gardner off the right side, great second and third efforts, gets in for the 1-yard score. Buffalo in a convincing 24-3 win. They now move on to the conference finals. All right, we will take a short break. When we come back, we've got Mark Malone set up to analyze the game and Sam Nova standing by for the post-game comments. That and more as the Fifth Quarter continues.
is it today, Max?
Brady, you there? Rosie? Rosie, you're just in time.
Yeah, problem is, Brady, we got a bad front rolling in.
Bad? What do you mean, bad?
I mean, it's soup up here, Brady.
Soup.
Brady! Yeah, but you can land, right?
Ah, negative. Best I can do is make a pass. Drop one thing.
One.
What's it gonna be, Brady?
Brady!
There are some things in life, people that do just about anything for them. Smooth, refreshing Stroh's. It's not just any beer.
Catch you next time, Brady.
It's Stroh's.
Any requests?
Pretzels.
Bert sells balloons. Bob sells balloons. Bert sells wacky gifts. Bob sells wacky gifts. Bert delivers. Bob delivers. So if Bob's got everything Bert's got, why is Bert busy and Bob not? Now, do you suppose Bert's got a big color ad in the book 9 out of 10 people use? The genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bella Latin Company.
Having a little trouble handling the snow? Then see your All-Star Jeep and Eagle dealer. They'll give you a great deal on a 4-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, or all-wheel drive Eagle Talon. Plus, stop in and see the exciting new Eagle Vision. Test drive any Jeep or Eagle vehicle and get a free Learn to Ski fun package at Seven Springs Mountain Resort. Get free ski lessons, free rentals, free ski tickets, and much, much more. Having fun this winter is no trouble at your All-Star Jeep and Eagle dealers, where you can ski free and save big.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter, everybody. I'm Derek Gunn. Before we head inside the Steelers locker room, we now take a look at some of the key elements of today's game. Mark Malone on the set joins me now. And, of course, everybody in the house who knew football knew that when Rod Woodson went down and Sammy Walker went in for him, they were going to pick on Walker's side. Sure enough, it happens. The end result, a touchdown.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of keys to this game, Derek. I mean, certainly 5 times in scoring territory and coming up with no points. You can't win football games like that against a playoff team. They had a great defensive scheme today. Dom Capers put Rod Woodson out on the corner to take care of Buffalo's speed. They shut him down. It was 7-3 at half, and in the second half, Woodson comes out with a concussion. They start Sammy Walker. In the previous game, Don Beebe caught 10 balls on Walker and just ate him alive, and as soon as Reich saw that, they went back after Walker again, and here's the end result. Let's take a look at some of the video. These are 4 plays in the same drive, first drive. Watch the cushion that Walker gives. He audibles, throws a little hitch. I mean, there's almost 8-10 yards right there to Lofton. On the second play, Walker tries to be a little bit more aggressive. They run man-to-man coverage. He gets there too early. So now he's in between. He doesn't know whether he should be in a cushion or playing aggressive. Now they blitz, and this time Walker should be settling, getting ready to pick up the blitz control. Another big cushion. Beebe catches the ball. Then on 3rd and 13, on the 17-yard line, man-to-man coverage, and Lofton just takes Walker to school, beats him cleanly on the little go route. And that really changed momentum. It went from 7-3 to 14-3 at that time, Derek, and that was really the difference in this ball game. The momentum started to shift, and then on top of that, you take a fumble, 2 interceptions, a muff field goal hold, and you just can't win football games like that. They had a great run, and there's certainly nothing to be ashamed about. This was a fantastic year if you were a Steeler fan, and there's no doubt in my mind, this being the first year, that they're going to be better next year, and they'll be back and play better, and hopefully they'll have a shot at it next year.
You look at the way Barry Foster got his 100 yards rushing today. Somewhat surprised, though, that their passing game wasn't more effective.
Well, you know, we talked a lot about that in the pregame show. One of the things that we said was, you know, Neal had got a chance to throw a lot. They had the extra week because of the bye week, and he wasn't going to be rusty. His timing was on, but let me tell you something. As a quarterback, it's a lot different throwing in practice than it is when you got a full-fledged rush coming on you, and it showed out there today. At times, he hit receivers wide open. I mean, he hit Davenport on the little seam pass early in the game and got the sticks moving and doing well, but consistently it was never there. That you had the sack for the fumble, and again, you get inside, a penalty happens, somebody fumbles the ball, you throw an interception. Those things kill a drive. Ron Earhart also told me one of the things that really concerned him was the fact that this football team, because of the way the offense is set up, that they kind of chuck out yardage. It takes them a long time to get down there, and then once they get down there, they get into that field goal mentality, and they can't stick it in the end zone. He was concerned about that, and that's exactly what happened today.
Midway through the fourth quarter, the Steelers definitely down, but not out of the contest, but John Jackson goes down. You think that took some of the mental edge off of their preparation?
I think so, Derek. There's no doubt about that. When one of your teammates go down and you're struggling to try to stay in the ball game anyway, the momentum has certainly shifted. You're having trouble trying to stop a football team. Rod Woodson goes out with a concussion, then he breaks his hand. I mean, there were a lot of different things that happened out there that just tended to snowball. And then when you get the ball and you know almost every possession you got to score and you stall out again, I mean, you realize at that point that the thing's just about over.
All right, thank you, Mark. And as you said, an 11-6 season, nothing to hang your head about. Obviously, the Steelers disappointed right now, but they've had an outstanding campaign. Now, as we get set to head into the locker room, but first of all, we take this short pause. Now, I've just been told we will now turn it over to Sam Nover, who is standing by with Gerald Williams in the locker room. Sam.
Okay, Derek, first of all, let me try to bring you up to date. This has obviously been a real blow to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This locker room is in mourning, so to speak, at the moment, but let me bring you up to date. The report we have on John Jackson is that he lost some feeling in the lower part of his left leg, and that's why the precautionary measures in strapping him down so he was immobile, and then obviously into the ambulance and off to the hospital. As far as Rod Woodson was concerned, he got banged in the head in the second quarter, continued in the football game till halftime. Then obviously, as you saw, did not play in the third quarter, came back in the fourth quarter, and then suffered a broken left hand. So Woodson got beat up pretty good today, and it's just a darn shame the season had to end on this note. But let's move to Gerald Williams now and get some reaction. First of all, I know prayers of everyone in this locker room are with John Jackson. Hopefully it's nothing more than just a lower back sprain.
That's correct. We're hoping that John is just fine, and, you know, our prayers are with him, as you said.
Yeah. This is difficult. These are the toughest shows to do. These are the toughest interviews to conduct. Can you capsulize this game for me, Gerald? Grab it by as tight as you can and give me a squeeze here.
To put it in one small picture, the way the game went was that the turnovers that we made early on in the game was a big key for them. They capitalized on the turnovers. They got points off of the turnovers. We didn't get turnovers, and I think that was the deciding factor.
The defense hung in there 7-3 at the half. You guys hung in as long as you could. Then when you lost Rod in the third quarter, they took it, as Mark Malone has just described perfectly, they took advantage of Sammy Walker. You started this game using Woodson and Johnson on the outside to cover the speed of BB and Lofton. It worked fine, didn't it?
That's correct. I thought we did very well against them in the first half, and we knew BB and Lofton would be the guys that they would love to go to. And once Rod got hurt, that was the guy that they started picking on was Sammy over on the side that Rod had left.
Is this kind of negate the whole season for you? It's an awful tough way to have to go out, but only one team goes out on top at the end of it all.
Yeah, it's a tough way to go out. We really felt that we could compete with this team. We thought that we could come out of this thing victorious, especially being at home. It's a new season for us. It's a new era for us, and I think that this team has got a lot of things to prove, and the future looks very bright right now, Sam.
As far as Buffalo is concerned, they have been an enigma for the Pittsburgh Steelers, certainly in recent history. You just can't beat this football team. And I need to point out, too, that the offense scored no touchdowns in 3 of the last 4 games played by the Steelers.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as say that we just can't beat this team. We haven't beat this team to this point. I still believe that we can beat this team if we play error-free football. We didn't do that today, and we didn't score any points, as you said today. So when you create things on the defensive side of the ball like they did, and the opposing offense doesn't score points, then you're going to lose.
Well, you've always been a pretty darn good spokesman for this club, Gerald, and thanks for, in our hour of need here, when we need some uplifting, you've given it to us.
Well, thank you very much, Sam.
See you next season, buddy. Carnell Lake, if you will. Part of a strategic plan by the defensive coaching staff today was to move Carnell Lake on the inside on Andre Reed. I think Mark has described this pretty adequately. Put DJ and Rod Woodson outside with their speed so they could run with them. And, boy, for a while it looked good, Carnell.
Oh, yeah, it worked well. We had a good game plan, and then Rod went down, and things changed after that. But, you know, that wasn't the key to them starting their drives. You know, they just outplayed us in a lot of areas. They had a good running attack that kind of picked us apart. And when we needed turnovers, we couldn't come up with any. And to win against a good team, you have to have turnovers to give your offense a chance to score.
Isn't it remarkable how this team had so many takeaways in the first half of the season? And in the second half, they bounced off your fingertips. They came in and out of your hands, bounced off your shoulder pads. Richard Shelton had 6 points in his hands.
Right. I mean, that's the funny thing about turnovers. They come in bunches. At one point, you may get a whole lot, and then after a while, you don't get any.
This Buffalo team did nothing unexpected, I surmise?
No, not really. Basically, they outplayed us today. I'm just going to boil it down to that. And there's really, you know, no excuse. We have to find a way next year to beat Buffalo. There's just they have our number right now, and we're going to have to find a way to beat teams like this if we're going to go all the way.
The last thing you guys want to do at this point is do any finger pointing of any kind. But as I just said to Gerald, when the offense doesn't give you any touchdowns in 3 of the last 4 games played by the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to wonder about the ability of this team. I mean, they just cannot finish a drive. Had some great drives today, couldn't finish.
Well, yeah, you know, Buffalo did a good job of getting the ball for their offense, and that stops drives. Anytime you can have a turnover, it stops drive. It kind of goes back to what I was saying. You have to know, we have to learn how to finish on people, and we will. This is a good, strong team.
How was it coming out of the tunnel today with that pandemonious crowd, the towels waving, everybody really set for this one?
This is beautiful. You know, it's the first time I've seen Pittsburgh really get into it with the towels and just screaming. I loved it. It got me going.
Carnell, going out sour like this, we were just talking a moment ago, only one team goes home a winner at the end of the season. Everybody else has got to obviously lower their head a little bit. But the season that you had with most of the predictions has to please everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, we were counted out basically as being in the position we were in, and I'm just really proud of this team. You know, we've had a talent, and with Bill Cowher and the rest of the staff coming in, just gave us a big boost. And I look forward to even better things next year.
Yeah, give me one final thought about your rookie head coach. He took you to 11 victories and provided a lot of motivation. What did he say in here at halftime when you were down 7-3?
He's always been positive all year, and after the game, he didn't break tradition. He told us that we don't have anything to be sorry about. Keep our heads up, and we'll be after him again next year.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great offseason, Carnell.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. Okay. Darren Perry, a tremendous, pleasant surprise for the Steelers in his rookie year out of Penn State. A young safety who was there, led the club in interceptions, but I guess this leaves a little sour taste in your mouth, I surmise.
It does, and it's going to take some while for this one to sink through. We had a good opportunity ahead of us. We thought we could go in and beat the Buffalo Bills today, and we didn't. They made the plays, and we didn't.
We were talking with Carnell and Gerald Williams about the change of plans today in which you put Woodson and DJ on the outside to cover Beebe and Lofton. Worked real well. You and Larry Griffin held down the inside beautifully, using the dime package a lot today, didn't you?
Yeah, we're going into the game. We wanted to put our best corners on the outside to eliminate them throwing outside. We knew they weren't going to try and come down the seams as much because they didn't have success the last time we played them up there. So going into the game, we wanted to put our best corners out there, and it worked the first half. Unfortunately, Rob went down, and we had to put some backups in, and you know, he just inches away from making a play.
Yeah, did you guys, when he did go down and didn't come back out in the third quarter to start with you, did some of the air come out of your balloon? I mean, did you feel a letdown back there?
Not necessarily. I mean, Rod's a great player, and whenever you lose a player like him, I mean, you're gonna lose some talent back there in the secondary. But we knew that we just had to grab hands and come together, and we were just gonna try and pick up the slack.
He got burned a bit on the Don Beebe catch down to the 1-yard line. Do you think he was still feeling the effects of the head injury from early in the second quarter?
Probably so. Right, he had a lot of time to throw the football, and it's tough when you get a quarterback back there and he's scrambling and you're trying to cover a guy for 8-9 seconds. It's tough, and you have to look at it on the film. I really can't say what happened.
Darren, this is not a team that offers many excuses, but did the week off perhaps hurt you instead of help you?
I wouldn't say that at all. I mean, you get the week off and you prepare all along, and you want to get that week off when you win a division. But then when that weekend comes around, you really want to play. So I'm not going to say it hurt us, but Buffalo made the plays today, and we didn't. That's basically all I think was what happened.
Yeah, give me the bottom line on the season for Darren Perry. Exceeding all of your great expectations, certainly.
Well, probably a lot of the medias and probably some of my teammates. I knew personally if I was a starting free safety that I could come in and do the job. And I think probably after the fourth game, I really started to gain respect of my teammates as well as the coaching staff. You know, they're real patient with me as the season progressed, and they started expecting me to make the plays that a regular starting free safety would make.
Well, you're part of a good football team for the 90s, I can tell you that, and you got a great leader in Mr. Cowher, so have yourself a great offseason, Darren. Thanks for the visit.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right, Derek, why don't we take a break here and go back to you in the studio. The Steeler locker room thin at the moment, I would think. The guys probably back in the little corners and crevices of this room having a couple last words with themselves before they come back out here and get dressed and obviously shove off for the season. So we'll take a short break and be back in a minute.
All right, thank you, Sam. 2 minutes from now, as Sam said, back in our locker room as the fifth quarter continues.
It's your chance to save big at Sun TV. We're marking down prices on TVs, appliances, audio, video, computers, and hundreds of other brand name products. The big January clearance is in full force at Sun TV. Save 10 to 30% on color TVs, 10 to 30% on VCRs and camcorders, and save 10 to 30% on computers. The big January clearance at Sun TV is going on right now. Sun TV, where you know you pay less.
Tag, you're it. And this tag is it. These Yes tags mean dependably low prices on the things you buy most. Follow the Yes tags, and you can't lose. Play tag with us. At Foodland, yes.
At Foodland, yes means Nabisco Premium Saltines, only 69 cents with bonus coupon. Coke 2 liter, just 98 cents. Cornet Thirsty Paper Towels, 2 rolls for only $1. Hills Brothers Coffee, just $3.99.
Foodland, yes.
These recent Channel 11 News First at 5 reports brought you more explanation. Anchor David Johnson detailed crime around the clock, and you got a first-hand look at the crimes affecting our neighborhoods. We explored the problems encountered by step-families, giving you tips on creating harmony at home. And anchor Peggy Finnegan explained the pressures faced by teen mothers, so you learned where your daughter could turn for help. For more explanation that benefits you and your family, watch Channel 11 News. More news, more often.
You know, PC, even for a cartoon guy, buying a computer is confusing.
I know. This place sells software, that place sells computers, and if you want to find a bargain, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, but finally, there is one place that combines the best selection with the lowest prices.
CompUSA, right?
Good guess.
Thank you.
CompUSA has over 5,000 computers, software titles, and more. Plus, they sell everything for less every day.
Super selection, super low prices.
CompUSA is the computer superstore.
You know, CompUSA is so big, I bet you could see it from space.
Yeah, your parking space.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter, everybody. I'm Derek Gunn. You know the numbers by now. Steelers on the short end of a 24-3 score as the Buffalo Bills move on to the AFC Championship game. Now let's go back to Sam Nova, who's standing by with a young man who had an outstanding game, surprisingly enough, in Ernie Mills. Sam?
Yeah, Derek, first of all, I can't bring you victory, but I can bring you certainly better news than that on John Jackson. All X-rays on John Jackson are negative, which means everything is fine. He has all the feeling back in his extremities, his legs, his arms. He is being held, I believe, overnight to have a CAT scan in the morning, or perhaps even later today. But the word we just got 30 seconds ago was that everything seems to be fine with John Jackson, thank God. All right, let's go to Ernie Mills now. Young man who caught, I believe, 7 balls today. Did everything within your power to turn this football game around. From your offensive perspective, Ernie, what went wrong today?
We got down there with the opportunities in the first half and didn't come away with 6 points. And it's good to have the field goals, but we need the touchdowns. And teams like Buffalo, you got to have the touchdown.
You let them hang around too long, didn't you?
Definitely. Even in the third quarter, we moved the ball. And turnover here, it really hurts.
That has been, if there was a signature to this Steeler football team in 1992, it's been the fact that they can't finish the offensive drive. Certainly late in the year you didn't, because you didn't score any touchdowns in the 3 of the last 4 games. What do you feel? Do you think the teams started getting tight down inside the red zone?
No, I don't think so. It's just maybe one mistake here and there. And when they get down to that tight, we can't have one mistake. Everybody got to be together. And those maybe one player here and there, and it happens.
Give me a feel for how Neal did today. Although he didn't put the ball in the end zone, did you guys never lose confidence in his leadership out there?
Oh, no. We was confident going into the game with him, and he played pretty well today. A couple of interceptions, but one was tipped. So I think he played a pretty good game today.
Were you the target going into this game? Was the design when they threw the ball to get it to you, or did you just happen to be a second and third receiver that was open?
Sometimes second receivers, sometimes I was primary receiver. It was a little combination of both, where Neal was scanning through his reads, and sometimes he came to me second or third.
There has always been just a touch of criticism about this offensive Ron Earhart, that he doesn't stretch the field widely enough, from goal line to goal line. I don't remember very often that you threw the ball deep again today. Was that my memory correct in that regard?
Well, we threw one or two deep. One was intercepted, and
one over Coop's head, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a deep one.
Yeah.
We threw a couple of them, a few of them that were deep, more than normal. And when something is working, you don't need to throw deep. So.
Barry Foster runs for over 100 yards again. I mean, and in the first half, you couldn't have designed a half any better. You guys ate the clock away, which is what you wanted to do. You held onto the football, yet you trailed 7-3 at the half. You had to be kicking yourself coming in here.
No, we felt like we'd come out in the second half and get it rolling again and get some points on the board, but we didn't get it done in the second half.
You had a nice season. Good to see you come back strong after a tough first year for you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ernie. Okay. Dwight Stone, if you will, please. I don't know, how do you put a cap around this year? These are very difficult things to talk about because you guys had great expectations, and I've said all along that if there was any season in which this team could go ahead and steal its way to the Super Bowl, this would be the year because there was no overpowering football team. So that probably makes the loss even doubly difficult for you to handle.
It did. You know, people didn't expect us to get this far in them again. They expect us to come out here, you know, be a mediocre team, like maybe a 7-9, something like that. We came out there and surprised lots of people, and we had the home field advantage about the playoffs, and we should have did away with them.
Stoney, was there any difference in the game plan for this playoff game than there was when you went into Buffalo earlier in the year? Did you try to do something dramatically different?
We tried to take out all the good plays we had throughout the year against other teams and, like, bring them to this game and hopefully that we could use them. And all of them did work. It's just that when we got inside the 50, we just made too many mistakes.
All year it happened that way, though, didn't it? Just couldn't finish off the drives.
That's right. You can't do that to such a team like Buffalo, but just over the last 2 years, you just can't do that.
Stoney, did anybody, you can't speak for anybody but yourself, obviously, but did you have a feeling that maybe in the third quarter he might go to Bubby?
I didn't know for sure what he was going to do. You know, he figured that Neil was doing a pretty good job, I guess, but I can't speak for him. But I don't know what would have made a difference.
You'll be happy to know we just got the word on John Jackson that he's going to be fine. All the x-rays have been normal, and all the feeling is back in his body, but that had to be a scary moment for everybody out there.
It is. I mean, you go out there, you play a whole year, and sometimes things just happen out of the blues, and thank God nothing happened to him. I have to say blessing to his family and to John.
Yeah, Stoney, what's the postscript on this year as you look back on a season that now ends 11-6, including the playoff loss, in which you could have had the home field advantage all the way to Pasadena? What's the bottom line on this year for you?
The bottom line is that we've been here before. We know how it feels. It's a disappointing loss right now, but we hope to be here next year.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much, and have a great offseason. Okay, we're going to take a short break. I think my producer has skedaddled, trying to find somebody else. Derek, why don't we take a break? Come back to you and Mark in the studio. If there's any information that you gleaned from this today, and you want me to try to find out for you in the remaining minutes of our locker room, I'd be happy to do it. If there's something Mark wants answered, but you guys take it back for a while, and we'll dig up some more live guests for you.
All right, thank you, Sammy. Short break coming up as the fifth quarter heads into the final quarter. That and more. Stay with us.
When you move into a new house, little things are going to come up. Unexpected things. Things the previous owner forgot to mention. So to make your new house a home, turn to the book with more choices. It can even help if you want to get out of the house for a while. Bet you'll unveil Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A better Atlantic company.
It's back-to-back. Celebrate the Pittsburgh Penguins' back-to-back Stanley Cup championships with Foodland's 92-93 collection of original Penguins player cards and official collector's poster. Only at Foodland, yes.
At Foodland, yes means Healthy Choice frozen products save 55 cents with manufacturer's coupon and circular. General Mills Cheerios $1.99. Sunlight liquid dish detergent 99 cents. Charmin tissue 9-pack $3.99.
Foodland, yes.
For the last 6 years, one lone truck, the Ford Ranger, has been the best-selling compact pickup in America. This year, the 1993 Ranger has been restyled inside and out, giving it a more modern aerodynamic exterior and a fresh new interior. That's something Chevy hasn't done to the S10 since the early 80s. Looks like the Lone Ranger will ride again. For a limited time, lease the newly restyled 93 Ford Ranger XLT for just $199 a month. So see your neighborhood Ford dealer today.
It's your chance to save big at Sun TV. We're marking down prices on TVs, appliances, audio video, computers, and hundreds of other brand name products. The big January clearance is in full force at Sun TV. Save 15 to 40% on microwave ovens. Save 10 to 30% on dishwashers and ranges. Save 10 to 30% on refrigerators, washers, and dryers. The big January clearance at Sun TV is going on right now. Sun TV, where you know you pay less.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Derek Gunn, and unfortunately, for one last time this season, we go back inside the Steelers locker room as Sam Nover puts some final thoughts on this game and the season in general. Sammy?
Yeah, thank you, Derek, very much. Your words are just ringing true now. For one last time, we go back live to the Three Rivers locker room. I thought we'd be back here next week, old buddy. David Johnson is with me now, DJ Johnson.
Yeah, I thought we would, too. I don't think anyone on the team prepared to go home. You know, it never crossed my mind, not one iota, that our season would end today. You know. No preparation, nothing.
It must be in the cards or something, because things were, even though you're down 7-3 and didn't score another touchdown, I mean, that would have been enough to win the game theoretically. When Rod Woodson went down, it seemed to change the whole ball game.
Yeah, it did. You know, when you lose a perennial All-Pro like that, it hurts you, and they did a good job of taking advantage of it, really, and it was crucial. You know, it was real crucial.
DJ, I was talking with Carnell earlier how this season has, defensively, from turnover point of view, has been a complete turnabout. Earlier, everything you guys got your hands on, you held on to. In the second half of the season, you couldn't, I mean, not you, but the secondary couldn't hold on. The guys couldn't recover fumbles to save their life.
That's true. It was like a roller coaster. We'd get turnover in bunches. You know, we'd get 10 or 15 at a time, and then go 5 or 6 games without getting anything. No fumbles, no interceptions. Then we'd get 5 or 6 more, and then it was real up and down, and you need to stay more consistent on that kind of basis if you expect to be the championship caliber team.
Frustrating to see the offense go 3 games of the last 4 without putting a touchdown on the board?
Yes, it is. You know, you know when you get in big games like this, you're going to have to get touchdowns. Field goals just aren't going to do. And, you know, it's tough sitting back and watching that. But on the other hand, we have to go right back out there and do our job. And, you know, it's not like we did a great job of keeping them out of the end zone today.
You know, like I said, after the Cleveland game, you had an all-pro season, even though you're not going to Honolulu. See you next year, buddy.
Sounds good.
Thanks, DJ. All right, let's finish it off with Carlton Hasselrig, if we can. A young man who is going to the Pro Bowl in Honolulu, has had a remarkable season for a guy who didn't play football 4 years ago. But the offense had some difficulty again today. It was quite obvious. And 3 of the last 4 games, no touchdowns. You can't win games that way.
You know, it's just a couple missed opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. You know, we threw the ball away a couple times and had a penalty or 2 in crucial situations. And, you know, to beat good teams, you can't do that. So that's something that we did today, and, you know, the outcome is a loss.
One gets the feeling that while you guys are resigned to the fact that the season is over, this is not as depressing a locker room as you might expect. You feel pretty good about what you accomplished this year.
Right, throughout the season, I think that we did a good job. We're how many ever wins we have and a couple losses, but I think throughout the year we played pretty well, and we made it to the playoffs, and we lost the first round, you know, in the playoffs. But, you know, it's just something that we have to do. You know, now we'll come back next year and go to the playoffs again, maybe go another step further, maybe even 2 more steps further. But, you know, I'm not at all upset about the loss. I mean, you know, you get over that and come back next year stronger.
Have a great trip to Honolulu. You've certainly earned it, and it's a shame you're not taking more than just 3 of your teammates with you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Rig. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, Gunner, let's wrap it up from here. It's very unfortunate. I had hoped to be back here next week as well, but unfortunately the season ends on a sour note. But remember, only 1 team will go home at the end of this year on a high, and 27 other teams will go down rather sourly, I guess. So for now, this is Sam Nova reporting live in the Steeler locker room. I'm still a bit shaken by this loss, but next year is next year. We'll look forward to it.
All right, thank you very much,
buddy.
Sam. All right. Now, Steelers, of course, bowing out. Buffalo moving on. Now, there will be 3 other conference semifinal games to be played this weekend. We take a look at those now. Coming up later today, Washington, after a big win over Minnesota last week, and the Skins now 10-7, will play at the 14-2 Niners, San Francisco, with the best record in all of football. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the Eagles, after a big win over the Saints last weekend at 12-5, go down to Irvine, Texas to meet the NFC East champion Cowboys. Cowboys, of course, 13-3. In 2 previous games in the regular season, the Eagles and Cowboys split a pair there. And coming up later in the day, a game the Buffalo Bills will be watching very closely. It is the champs of the AFC East versus the champs of the AFC West as San Diego plays at Miami. Chargers 12-5, Miami 11-5, and of course San Diego coming off a 17-0 shutout over Kansas City a week ago. Now, that's all the time we have for today's playoff edition of the 5th quarter, the final 5th quarter of this particular campaign, a season in which the Steelers went 11-6, but of course a season in which the Steelers did not want to see come to a close today. So for one final time, for Mark Malone, Sam Nover, and each and everybody who makes the 5th quarter happen every week, I'm Derek Gunn. We thank you for tuning in this season. Enjoy what's left of your sports weekend. So long, everybody.
From Channel 11 News, this has been the 5th quarter. Brought to you in part by Stroh's. It's not just any beer, it's Stroh's. And by Foodland. Yes, your everyday savings.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Margaret Shortridge. Did you think that the Steelers would win today? Many of us did, and there are many frustrated fans out there. We'll be live at 6 o'clock talking with them.
What day is it today, Max?
Brady, you there? Rosie? Rosie, you're just in time. Yeah, problem is, Brady, I got a bad front rolling in.
Bad? What do you mean, bad?
I mean, it's soup up here, Brady.
Soup.
Brady! Yeah, but you can land, right? Ah, negative. Best I can do is make a pass. Drop one thing.
One.
What's it gonna be, Brady? Brady!
There are some things in life people that do just about anything for. Smooth, refreshing Stroh's. It's not just any beer.
Catch you next time, Brady.
It's Stroh's.
Any requests?
Pretzels.
I'm attorney Edgar Snyder. We've represented over 5,000 accident victims, and we're ready to help you, too. So if you've been injured in an accident and need a lawyer, call us first.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Saturday Channel 11 movie. Today, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh star in our cinema feature presentation. Houdini.